Do you too struggle with chronic feeding issues? Today's video is actually going to be kind of a troubleshooting video. So this rifle is a Tikka T3X Super Varmint in 223 Remington that we put into an MDT XRS chassis. So we've been using the MDT 223 metal magazines and we've been having some feeding problems. So what I'm going to show you in this video is how to fix that. So we have the old magazine latch installed on this gun, and the problem is, because of tolerance stacking, the magazine is actually not sitting up high enough in the mag well in order for the bolt to catch the last 2 or 3 rounds in the magazine whenever we're feeding them. The bolt is supposed to strip them out of the magazine, push them into the chamber, eject, and then rinse and repeat, right? They're not doing that. The bolt is actually skipping over the top of the round and not feeding anything, and then when you go to pull the trigger, obviously you don't get a bang. So we are going to show how it feeds, or rather lack of, with the old magazine latch, and then I'm going to install the new magazine latch, which I'm not going to show on camera because YouTube doesn't like that kind of stuff, and then show you how it feeds after the fact. Now, MDT sent me this new latch for free. They don't sponsor me. They have excellent customer service. I told them what was going on. They quickly identified the issue and they sent me a new mag latch for free that's just slightly longer than the old one. So it should push that magazine up just enough to get the bolt to catch those last few rounds, and we should be off to the races. Okay, you guys are looking at a close-up of the ejection port now of the receiver of the rifle. So this is where we're going to be stripping rounds out of the magazine, into the chamber, locking down, then furthermore ejecting them out of the gun. This is a 10-round metal MDT magazine with those little inner polymer feed lips. It is loaded with 3 rounds of 223. I'm going to insert it into the gun, then pull down just to make sure that it is locked into the gun as it would be if we were firing. And then run the bolt forward. You'll see it hit the back of the case head on the first round, and then we are going to feed that into the chamber and then ejects as normal. Now, where the abnormality comes in is when you go to feed that second to last round, you'll notice the bolt is just kind of skipping right over top of it. And the speed doesn't really matter. You can go fast, you can go slow, but essentially it's just not catching the back of the case head right there. It's just skimming right over top of it, and obviously that's a problem. So to remedy this, we are going to change that magazine latch. Now, that's going to be a permanent fix. If you guys are in the field, or rather at the range, whatever you want to call it, and you're having this issue in a pinch, you can just pull up on the magazine, take all of the slack out of it that you can. So I'm currently holding the magazine with my hand from the bottom, pushing upward, and then you'll notice that the bolt will catch the back of that round. So all this is doing is just taking out all of the slop that is in the system that's creating this problem, which is very, very little slop, but it is enough that it's causing a problem. So again, I'm going to pull up on that magazine, push forward, and again, you can get those rounds to feed just fine. Now we are going to replace that magazine latch. I'm going to come back to the table and we're going to repeat this test and see how it does. All right, now we're going to run that same test again. I installed the new magazine latch. We're going to take that same 10-round magazine with 3 rounds in it, run it up into the gun, pull down to make sure that gravity's doing its part, and then we're going to run the bolt forward. Picks up the first round like last time, totally normal. Then the second one's also feeding good, as it should. And the third one, which is the last in the magazine. So feeds the last 3 rounds perfectly now. All we had to do was change out that magazine latch and it was a complete fix to the rifle. So if you guys have an issue like this, super easy to fix. Hopefully that's all it requires. But again, if you bought an MDT product, contact their team. Hopefully they'll have one sent out to you pretty quickly, and then you can just replace it yourself at home in a jiffy. So thank you guys for watching this video. If it was helpful, please let me know. Y'all stay risen, glorify God, take care, be safe, and we will see you in the next one.